What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be doing a long-awaited fish room update. I know I said that I was going to do monthly updates. That was about 3 months ago. A lot has happened here in the fish room, as you can tell behind me, or this side here. But I'm just going to pick the camera up and start, showing you what's happening here in the fish room. And obviously we have to continue the tradition and start at the breeding rack. And as you can tell, it's gone. If you've seen in my last video, I did move all of the fish from these tanks out into other tanks here in the fish room and stuff. And I finally drained all the tanks, cleaned them out, gave them a good cleaning, whatever it is, and put them to the side. So now I just have the rack here. I do have plans for this space, and I will tell you about those plans a little bit later in the video. But that's pretty much it for the breeding rack. Honestly, the breeding rack is no more, and that's, I feel like with good reason. Wow. Again, like I mentioned in that last video, that when I took these tanks down, I never really used this space properly. The tanks weren't really for breeding. I was growing out some fish, but they were just sitting in there, and I was having a hard time doing water changes on the bottom tanks because they were so low to the floor. So glad that I was able to get those out of there, put into bigger tanks so that they can grow and utilize this space a little bit better. Now, starting with the 40 rack like usual, we've got up here in this upper 40 my breeding pair of angels. They are still in here and they are still breeding. Their slate is off to the side over here. I don't know, you guys can't probably see it, but their slate tile is in there, and they do breed, spawn regularly, but the L397s in here just gobble the eggs up. So I may just pass these guys along, get them to a new home. Kind of want to try something else besides angels, maybe some nicer type of angels possibly in the future, but as of right now, I want to focus on other things. My coral red, my Nanostoma, Senepa, super reds, I believe, not coral reds, sorry, are still in here doing great. I feel like I have a good mix of males and females, kind of, sort of. Let's see if I can find a female possibly, like this right there, that's a female. And then obviously the ones with more reds are males. The three rainbows are actually still in here. They're doing pretty good. They're growing slowly like rainbows usually do. Sorry, you guys seeing a whole bunch of glare, my lord. And then I've got the apistos in here. You can see the male there, as well as my gold laser cories. I do have the female apistos. Let's see, this is another young male, if I'm not mistaken. And then there's a female. She usually hides in this little brick cave thing. I don't know if she's actually in there right now. She either hides in there or under the driftwood over here somewhere. You see the tail of the 397 just flash around in there. I think I have maybe like 4 or 5 of the 397s in here. But yeah, this tank is doing really good. The angels, like I said, they're going to be hopefully going to a new home soon. These guys are beautiful, but I want to try something a little bit different. Now down below, we've got the second 40 gallon here. This has the rainbow parva in there. As you can see, the school is doing really well. The 4 babies that I put in there are growing pretty well. There's 3 of them right there. The other one's in the back over there, so they're doing good. I did unfortunately lose one of the adults. I believe it was one of the males. I don't know what happened. Found him just floating one day. And yeah, so now I'm down a male, but I have the 4 babies, so we still have 10 rainbow parva in here, as well as the 4 baby discus. You can see there. I don't know why some of these guys look skinny. I do feed them pretty heavily. Like this little one right here. Let's see, can you focus? Focus, there we go. It's kind of skinny. I don't know why. They eat really good. I feed pellets and flakes and frozen foods and live black worms and stuff like that, and they eat great, but they just look a little, like that one looks a little skinny. This one looks okay. He looks good. Same with this guy. This guy looks pretty good too, but I don't know if maybe it's just because it's a dark substrate, or not even substrate, just a black painted bottom. Like I had mentioned in the other videos, I do want to put some sand in all of the bottoms of the tanks to brighten them up. But very obviously in here, you can see my L236. I have super yellows. That's a super yellow right there, if I'm not mistaken. And then on top is a super white. These guys are gorgeous. Look at that little guy. I think it's phenomenal. Look at this one over here too. Probably one of my favorite Plecos. And then I also have a boatload of black Schultzite Cory or black Venezuelan Cories, whatever you want to call them. Got a decent group in here, hoping to get these guys breeding eventually, but that's after I put all the substrate and stuff. You can see the moss growing everywhere. But this tank is also doing very well. The fish are growing phenomenally, and just excited to get these baby rainbows to grow out, get to full size, and actually have them spawn. The goldfish tank is obviously next. 4 goldfish are doing great. Have the Zis filters in here. One of them is going. The other 3 are just floating in there. Tank is covered in algae on the front. The 2 mystery snails that I added in there do a good job at eating the algae. Usually it's a lot worse than what it is, but I just am a little lazy to scrape it. This tank is pretty deep. I think it's 24 inches deep or more, so it's kind of a hassle to get in there and scrape that algae. So I'll get to it eventually. There they go, knocking over that mystery snail. This is a little mystery snail right there, and these guys are just pushing them around like it's a beach ball. But these guys are also doing good. Obviously haven't added any scaping to this, but eventually we'll get there. And down below, underneath the goldfish tank, we have the 50-gallon Ultim tank. You guys saw also in one of my previous videos that I moved the Ultims from the 40-gallon into this tank here. These guys are also doing really, really well in here. I haven't had a single loss, knock on wood. These guys are doing great. All the tetras, the Cories, the Plecos that's in there, even the Ultims, they're all just doing great. There is some mulm and stuff like that on the floating Anubias and stuff, but that's fine. I have been contemplating moving these guys over into the 180. They all in here are doing well, and the 180, from what I can tell, also is doing really well. Haven't had any losses in there in a while. Look how beautiful these guys are. My God, look at this. You can't tell me that these fish are ugly, man. Look at that. Sorry, I get distracted. But yeah, the Cories are all doing well. Look at this little guy right here. Beautiful. The albinos, rummy nose tetras. There's, let's see, the 1 Cardinal tetra that will get moved not into the 180, but with the other Cardinal tetras that I have here in the fish room. And then there's the 2 Serpe tetras. Kind of want to get more of those guys because they look really good. I feel like they'd add a nice like little pinkish red to the 180, so I may get some more of those. I've been contemplating maybe moving over the tetras and the Cories first, just to kind of test the 180 to make sure everything actually is good before I actually go ahead and move the Ultims over there. So that's probably what I'm going to do. I'll move everything over, or tetra and Cory wise, and even the Mondo Pleco. I'm more than likely just going to toss him into the 180. Look at him. This guy's a beast. That cave is probably like 2 inches wide, and he's taking up almost the entire thing. Like this guy, he last time I measured him, I think he was close to 9 inches from nose to tail. So this is a fat Pleco. Would definitely do really good in the 180. So going to be moving him. And then once I move them, the tetras and Cories and stuff, I will monitor. And then maybe after another month, I will move the 5 Ultims and this gorgeous red shoulder Manicapuru over into the 180 as well to go ahead and be with the other Ultims that are left in the 180, and I'll show you what's going on over there, but let's just appreciate this beautiful fish. Now here at the 20-gallon rack, obviously my last video, it is now extended. I have a 3rd column here of 20 gallons, still missing that 20-gallon there. We'll be getting it very soon, but let's go ahead and just jump straight into updates on the rack. So this upper rightmost 20-gallon is where I have my CPD fry. You can see behind the algae and stuff, there's some fry. There's a bunch of fry in there actually, as well as my snow white bristlenose Plecos. And I also have a little group of, I believe they are Pygmaeus Cory, the Pygmy Cory. There's maybe like 5 or 6 of them in there. These CPDs actually are the babies of the parents that I had in my outside tubs. These babies were actually born in this tank and raised in this tank, so really happy I was able to get some babies in there. You saw my summer tub video. The outside project didn't do so great, so happy I could at least have some babies indoors growing. There's a decent amount of them in here. I would say maybe like 20 to 30, which isn't huge for the CPDs, a huge spawn, but it's a first for me, so I'll take it. Other than that, I know I have my long fin Snow White in here, who they all like to hide under this moss. Let me see if maybe I can see something from the side. There's the female, I believe. Yes, that is my female, and she's for sure a female because she's the one that spawned. She does have a few whiskers, but females are known to get some whiskers. And is there anything else in here? No, I can't see anything. So more than likely hiding in the moss and stuff like that, and behind the sponge filter back there. But I also added, these were the floating plants that I took out of the tubs. Those are not water sprite, Amazon swords, and then this little one right here is a water lettuce. So hoping to get these guys going in the fish room. That way next year for summer tubs, I don't have to buy anymore. Here in this 20 long right underneath, this is one of the newest setups. This tank here has a group of, I believe it's 10 cauliflower swordtails. There is one male and the rest are females. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe 9. I think it's, yeah, 1 male and 8 females. I did get this group from my boy Alex in Queens. There were 3 males. I unfortunately lost 2 of them. I don't know what happened. But I also got, you can see here, some gold denison barbs. These guys I got for free from Alex as well, and that is because these guys are either partially and or fully blind. You can maybe see the eyes of some of these look a little hazy. This guy right there at the bottom, he's just missing an eye completely. So yeah, Alex got these in the shipment. They came in like this. He didn't want them. They were kind of just tearing up his stem plants in his tank. Since they were blind, they were getting startled and just knocking into the stem plants, knocking leaves all over the place. So picked these guys up for free. There was, I believe, 10 of them, and I also lost 2 of those as well. Don't know why. Again, one of them, I know its eye was like bulging out of its head kind of, so I didn't expect him to do too well, but the others are doing great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's 8 of them left. These guys will also be going into the 180 eventually. They're probably one of the last fish going in there, just because I want to make sure everything else that goes in there is healthy and doing well beforehand. And there's also in here a pair of golden Gardner Eye Killies. There's the male right there and the female right here. I got these guys at my club meeting, at the auction at the end of the meeting. Picked them up for a great deal. Where did the female go? There she is. And figured, let me give my shot, give a try at breeding these killifish, because they stop running. They are beautiful. Look at that little guy. I have seen them courting. The male was kind of, you know, courting the female, and they were doing some funny little dance, but I don't know if there's eggs anywhere up in the hornwort up here, but well, who knows? We'll see. One tank below that, this is the one of the guppy tanks that I have here. I did have a big loss of guppies. I don't know what happened. The hornwort just started dying, and the guppies started dying. I don't know if maybe I had an ammonia spike or a nitrate spike or something like that in the tank, but I did end up doing a huge water change, getting out all the dead bodies and stuff like that, refilling it with fresh water, and the guppies are doing great now. I do need to cull some. As you can see, like this little dude right there doesn't have the split tail, so I'm going to cull them. Going to end up giving them away to my uncle more than likely. You see this little guy doesn't really have a split tail either. There's this one here, doesn't have it either. So this is kind of the look I'm going for. This right here, this guy right here, that's the little split tail look I want to continue line breeding. So we'll be culling out the ones that don't fit And I also have in here my L519s. You can kind of see one sticking out right there. There's one there. Let's get through. There's the, come on. Had a good shot of that guy. There we go. That's a pretty fish. Wow. Don't really see them that often. They hide a lot. The 5 of them are still in there, doing great. And that's it for this 20-gallon long. Up here, this is the middle one. And if you guys remember in the video, I had that one there covered, this tank covered. And this one didn't have these fish in here, except, well, not all of these fish. So as you can see, the ultims that I got from, wow, not even recording fish. The ultims that I got from when I went to Aquashella are now moved in here, as well as the ruby alpha swordtails. So the 11 ultims are all in here, the babies, they're doing great. I moved over their sponge filter, which is this one here, as well as the 2 pairs of ruby slash alpha swords. This is the ruby male, the alpha female. And then we have the ruby male and ruby female pair over here. They're doing great. This ruby female here was big and boxed off a couple days ago. I'm assuming that she dropped her fry and they just got eaten by the ultims and the other swords. So it's okay. Once they get a little bit bigger, I will try to catch the female out prior to. That way I can save some of the babies, because I do want these babies. Obviously I want to have a nice group of ruby alpha swords. Honestly, and I was actually even thinking it for a future breeding project, when I get more alphas, I want to get an alpha female and crossbreed it to a cauliflower male. I feel like that would be a really, really nice combination, because the cauliflowers, if you can tell, they are full red. They don't have like black pupils or anything, so they are, I'm assuming, an albino. While the rubies do have black pupils, you see there, so they're not an albino. So I wonder what that mix would generate fry wise. So future breeding projects, stay tuned if you don't want to miss that. The other secret fish that I mentioned that I had in here is actually right down there. If you can see that, I've got myself a group of 12 baby zebra plecos. I bought these guys a while back from a buddy of mine, Robinson, and they've been doing great, growing out slowly in here. The zebras, I'm noticing, grow very, very slow, but I'm not going to complain, because these guys are beautiful little guys. They do eat. I do feed these guys at night. I toss in my wafers so that they can eat. Just waiting for these guys to grow out. I know this is going to be a long breeding project. It's going to be maybe 4 or 5 years before I can get some fry out of these guys, but definitely a project that I'm excited for. 20-gallon long below that, we've got the Cardinal 20. These are all the Cardinals that will eventually be going into the 75-gallon once the 75-gallon discus tank upstairs. Once that's all done, that's something that I'm working on. It's taking a little longer than expected, but slow progress is better than no progress. I've also gotten here the one super red male. He did end up killing my longfin female, and there was actually, his brother was in here as well. I gave his brother back to my buddy John. He asked for him back, so I gave him back. It's not my fish, so gave him back. And I also have, you can see that just scurried in there, my orange Venezuelan cories. And right back behind that spike there, you can see him a little bit. There's a panda cory in there. I believe there's 2 of them in here, I think. I don't know if I lost one, but I know there's definitely at least one. There's another of the orange Venezuelan cories, and some more up over here on this spike. That's really it for here. Nothing new in this 20-gallon. 20-gallon below that, we've got the golden variety of the guppies that I showed prior, as well as my longfin lemon blue eye breeding tank. Fortunately, this breeding project came to a crash because the female died on me. I don't know what happened. I just came down one day, she was gone, couldn't find her, and I found her body, which sucked. So I'm thinking about taking this male, the longfin male, and popping him up in with my short fin pair to see if maybe I can get him to spawn with the female and get some more longfin babies. I did unfortunately sell off almost all of the longfin babies that I had from these guys, you know, not expecting to lose the female, which sucks. So now I have just a lone male and a couple short fin babies in here. So I may try to just grow some of these guys out and breed them back, possibly to the male if I get any females, because they should be carrying the long fin gene. The upper left 20-gallon, you can see my pair of short fin lemon blue eyes right here. There's the male, there's the female, so the long fin male may get tossed in here to very possibly breed with this female, because she is very pretty, very big, so it should be a good project. I also have my duplicarius cories in here, you see them right there. And then back over there, this little guy is actually my flagtail panda cory. So you remember I added those guys in here as well. There's a nice little group in here. They do hide a lot, which sucks, but I mean, it's the nature of cories. And then another secret fish that I had in here that I got from another buddy of mine, a different John, are these little guys. These are black chin Livebearers. Super neat little fish. This is a young male here. I got 6 of them, and I ended up getting 1 male and 5 females. You can see they're a male and a female. The male is young. He does not have the black chin, as obviously described, but he will get it eventually. The females are beautiful. These guys they're tiny little guys. They're not. The females don't even get that big like most Livebearers, but you can see the male has a pretty long gonopodium, which is funny because it's like half the size of his body. No fry out of these just yet, but I'm hoping soon. I very obviously have a lot of hiding spots for them. There's another couple females. There's another female kind of, let's see, where did she go? There she is. You can see her reflection. She's glass surfing back there, but last 20-gallon long, as you guys saw back there, I have my electric blue car in here. There's the 4 fry in there. Originally I was going to go ahead and take these guys and add them into the 180, but I have since changed my mind. I do not want to add them to the 180. May just sell these guys off. They're a little bit too boisterous for me. I don't know if adding these guys to the 180 would be a good idea, especially with the ultims. They are, you know, more of a mellow fish. But other than that, in here I do have my calico bristlenose Plecos. You can see the tail of one there. I also added my pair of super reds in here that wasn't in that 40. There's I believe the male, yeah, that's the young male. You see his bristles. The female somewhere in here. I also actually lost my longfin male calico that was in here, so not having very good luck with the longfin varieties of these Plecos. I'm hoping the Snow White does good. Again, let's see, knock on wood. But no spawns out of these guys, these Plecos either. And in here I actually also have the cories. I forgot I added these little cories in here. I don't remember the name of them. You can see it kind of behind the mulm there. There's a group of those guys in here as well. I believe it started with an L corridor, L something or other, Lucas something or something like that. I'm not too sure, but the EBAs, the electric blue cars, will soon be finding a new home as well. And in this 20 long, just kidding. I'm waiting to get this 20-gallon long. I gotta obviously buy the tank, paint it, and set it up, but that will be coming very soon. Here I have a 10-gallon quarantine tank, and in here are the 6 CPD that were outside in my tubs. These guys look really good. You can see these guys have super red fins. I'm just monitoring these guys in here for now and getting them acclimated back to the Fishroom water, because they were obviously outside with rainwater. It was much softer, so they're doing really well. They're eating and all that good stuff, so I'm probably going to watch them for maybe like another couple days or so, and then add them into the 20-gallon with the rest of the CPD fry, their babies, and hope that they spawn. I know I ended up actually missing 1 CPD adult when I was moving them. It was hiding in the moss, so I have 7 breeders plus the babies and stuff, so eventually will be added back into that 20 long and hopefully spawning again. I will get to the 180 in a bit. Let's just get to the bowl real quick. The bowl is doing really well, getting some algae issues, but for the most part, the fish are doing great. The 2 Habrosis cories that I added in there, I believe are both still alive. I see them periodically swimming around. They're doing really well. The Chili Rasbora are still in there. You can see some of them in the back there, and like this little dude right there. And the Ember Tetras are also doing really well. Let's see, will it focus on the chilies? The chilies are so small that it probably won't focus on them. But they're all still in there, as well as the Habrosus Cory. Is due for a water change. I did add some pothos there, so you can see the roots. Let's see here. Move this. Let's see. You can see the roots kind of dangling in there. I do have, like I said, have to do a water change. But let's see, top-down view of this, guys. You can see the plants are doing really well. The Anubias is growing beautifully. Look how green and healthy that stuff looks. So pretty happy with how the bowl has turned out. I do have to add water to it, but that's neither here nor there. And now onto the 180. As you can see, the 180 looks very empty. Unfortunately, after I lost my big adults, whatever sickness the adults had did get passed down to the babies that I had in here, so I did lose most of those guys. I am down to 2 baby Altums. You can see one of them right here, and the other one hides in the back almost all the time, usually behind this big old fat rock there. You can kinda, let's see, can I focus on his fin? Let's see here if I can show you guys. Right there, you see right there in between like the branch and the rock, you can kind of see some of his glow patterns popping out. Let's see. There he is, right there. Right there, you see his little face in between, behind the plants. That's the bigger of the 2. But yeah, these guys hide all the time because it's just them 2. So that's kind of another reason why I'm looking forward to adding the bigger ones into this tank. That way they have some comfort in numbers. Other than that, the whiptails are still doing really, really well. Look at this guy here. The other one is right back there. You can kind of see him moving along. Cories are doing great. There's that one smaller albino Pleco that I added in there. The little other albino Pleco, or not albino Pleco, Pleco that's in here is a clown Pleco. He's in here as well, also doing great. I see him from time to time, usually more at night. But kind of the newest addition to this tank, which was another test, is some more rope fish. You can see one right there. I added 4 more to here to bring the total up to 5, but I did unfortunately lose one, and I will explain how. But there's another little guy right there. There's another one. You can kind of see its head right there-ish. So that's 3. And number 4 is somewhere in here. I don't know where. Oh, there's number 4. You can kind of see its body hiding right there under that piece of slate. So, like I said, I did add 4 to the original 1 that I had, bringing the group up obviously to 5 if we can count. But one of the new guys actually ended up swimming over the overflow to the sump or the tank or whatever, up and down the overflow pipe, through all the overflow piping and stuff there, ended up in the sump here, and as you can see, that is a UV light. He got stuck in this chamber here where the UV light is and got fried. He could not make it past the sponges that I have here. So unfortunately, I did lose that one. Little dude got cooked. I have since made some alterations to the actual overflows. I don't know if you'll be able to see. No, you can't. But I basically took the black foam that I have here, these foam pads. Let me see, can I show you? These foam pads right here. I chopped off a layer of that, basically like a 1-inch sliver kind of, and put it in between the glass lid and the actual sump overflow, basically creating a sponge filter kind of barrier to the overflow there, so they cannot swim over it. So fingers crossed that I don't have any more issues with these little buggers escaping and getting into the overflow, because even after that, the first one that died, I've caught some of the others in here as well. And actually, when the first one died, I took that as an opportunity to go ahead and clean the sump. So you can kind of tell the sump is a little cleaner. So are the sponges here and all the media and stuff. And after I did end up finding somehow one of them continued getting in here, but I caught him in this chamber and in the return pump chamber. So I was able to thankfully catch him and net him back out. And I have since figured out why or how he was doing it. There was a small little opening, maybe about this big, in between the sponge that I added and the actual side of the tank. So I just cut another piece of sponge and jammed it in there. So I'm hoping no more escaping that big tank into the sump for the rope fish, and they stay in here and will stay alive and happy and healthy, because I don't need them getting fried by the UV filter. Other than that, the Priscilla tetras are all doing good. I mean, I'm kind of itching to add more fish here, which is why I want to go ahead and add these guys in there. I feel like the tank kind of needs a little bit more life, and they would be a great addition, obviously, to this tank. That was the whole game plan from the get-go. So like I mentioned prior to, I want to add the Cories and the tetras first, monitor them, and then add the ultims after like a month. These UV filters that I have, there's the UV light here specifically on the 180, and then on the 50 I do have a UV filter in this back corner. They've been doing phenomenal. I'm giving those the award. That's the reason why I haven't lost fish, I feel, in these tanks, because it is just cycling through and killing anything that's in the water, anything bad. Obviously I don't have tannins in this tank anymore either. I don't know if you guys can tell, but the tannins in this tank are gone. There's no green water. I barely get algae in this tank. I have a little bit of like green spot algae on the front glass, which to me is nothing really. Like, I don't mind that tiny little bit, and I'll clean it, you know, when it comes time to clean the tank, but I don't really clean this tank very often. I mean, you can see it is pristine almost, and the parameters in here, I'm like almost zeros across the board. I think my nitrates are maybe at like 5 or 10 ppm, and that I'm gonna just chalk up to the lower stocking level in here, because it's like a 200-gallon system, and I barely have like 100 fish or here or anything like that. Like, I barely have 100 fish. I think I have less than like 75 fish in here. So I will be monitoring this tank after I add all the Cories and tetras to it, and then the bigger ultims, obviously. But this tank has been kind of on autopilot for now, and I'm really happy that the remaining 2 ultims are doing really, really well, and I'm just excited to add the bigger ones to it. Now my little 20-gallon Reef tank. The lights on this tank are actually dimming down. That's why it's so low. Usually it's a lot brighter than this. But as you can tell, I have a lot more coral in here. There's a new clownfish. I picked this guy up actually from somebody local to me. His tank crashed, and he was just looking to rehome this guy. It was his first ever saltwater fish, first clownfish that he ever got. So I decided to give him a good home here in this 20-gallon for now, and he's doing really well. The other third clownfish is back there. You can see there's 1, 2, and 3. So now I have 3 clownfish in here, and there's also the little yellowtail damsel in here, somewhere in here, scurries around through the rocks. You kind of see him right there, actually. There he is. There's his little yellowtail, and he hid. But I have this coral here. This is a Duncan. I've got this pink bubble. There's a green bubble here. There's some, like, I don't know what these are. I don't know what that guy is. I've got some hammers in here now. There, you can actually see right next to the hammer there is a crab. I think it's an emerald crab. This is some GSP right here. Right there, more GSP. I got these guys here. There are mushrooms as well, kind of throughout the tank. All at the bottom. You see another mushroom there. Another mushroom there. I think that's a crab molt. Either a molt or one of the crabs didn't make it. I'm not too sure which it is. And then you see here my little frag rack here. I've got a whole bunch of zoas and some other stuff. I don't know what they are really, but they're pretty. Usually look a lot better when the lights are actually on and not dimming down. But I'm excited for what's to come with this tank. But let me take you to the next secret tank that I haven't shown you yet. So there has obviously been a lot of secrets going around here in the fish room. This is a 32-gallon BioCube FOWLR tank. Sorry, not a Reef tank. This is a FOWLR. FOWLR meaning fish only with live rock. And in here, you can see I have a very nice, beautiful group of fish. There's another trio of clownfish. You can see 2 normals and a black clownfish. I have a dwarf flame angel. I believe this is, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is a 3-bar angel, I think, or a 3-bar damsel. I don't know. And then I have a neon damsel there, as well as, let's see if you guys can see here. Kind of in the crevices, he just went into the back over there, but I have a gold watchman goby in there. Super cool little dude. I call him Meep because he reminds me of the little sardines from SpongeBob. But yeah, as you can see in here, I have a bunch of live rock here as well, and all the fish and stuff. Oh, hold on, wait, there's Meep right there. Let's see, Meep, zoom in on Meep. This tank is a little scratched up, but you can kind of see him right there. There's little Meep, my golden watchman goby. Super cool little guy. But yeah, so this tank, as well as the 20-gallon long, are going to be getting a major upgrade. And I'm actually going to show you what I'm talking about right now. So my reasoning for tearing down the breeding rack and stuff like that, besides me not using it for breeding and it kind of just taking up space and not being used appropriately for breeding and raising fry and stuff like that, is because I'm getting, and actually not getting, I got a tank for this spot here. Let's go over into my garage real quick. Let me throw the Crocs on, and I will show you guys what I've got cooking in the garage. Don't mind my cars. Things are a mess in here, but let's turn lights on. If you can see here, I have a stand, and I actually got myself a 90-gallon drilled tank, obviously with overflow and everything. This is the 90-gallon tank, the stand. I got canopy, sump, protein skimmer, circulation pumps. There's a UV light in here, a whole bunch of other pumps and stuff like that. All of this stuff for free. Yes, that is correct. You heard me right. I got that for free. A gentleman out here where I live in Westchester County downgraded his 90-gallon to a 40-gallon and graciously gifted me this tank. He posted it on Facebook. I saw it, messaged him. This was actually yesterday, which today is Sunday, October 12th. And I messaged him yesterday, Saturday. Saw the ad at like 9 o'clock in the morning. I was like, hey, is it available? I can come pick it up within the hour. I'm home. He said, yes, come get it. Sent me the address. Loaded it up into the my family car here, my white Acura, and brought her home. I had to make 2 trips because I couldn't fit the stand and the tank, plus all the equipment here. So I made 2 trips, but it was okay because they were only 20-minute trips, and brought it home. And then today, before it started downpouring, ended up cleaning the tank itself. There was this algae all on the back. Couldn't get it off of the overflow, so I'm just going to leave it. Sorry, there's a cricket in here somewhere. And the stand, I'm going to go ahead and give it a fresh paint job. Nice black paint job. I'm going to do new doors on it because these doors, you can see the edges here are the laminate that was on there kind of peeled off. And I want to get a new bottom as well because this bottom is cooked. Just peeling, lifting and stuff, so I'm just going to get a new piece of plywood, 1/4-inch plywood, put it down in there, and use this whole setup here. Tank, stand. I'm not going to use the canopy just because I don't care for canopies too much really, but all the equipment and everything like that, the protein skimmer at least, the circulation pumps, the UV filter I may use, the sump I'm going to keep as a backup. But if you guys saw my DIY sump kit that I did with the 29-gallon tank, I'm going to use that 29-gallon and use that as the sump for this this 90-gallon here. So it's going to essentially be what, like 100+ gallon system, which is going to be perfect for my my two little saltwater tanks, my FOWLR 32 BioCube and the 20-gallon Reef. They're gonna both get merged into this tank here, and it's gonna be a 90-gallon Reef. I'm really excited for that. It's gonna be a really cool project. I actually have here more live rock or dry live rock in this bucket, and this has some media and more dry live rock underneath. And then you can see here, this is a 75-gallon that also has an overflow. This is the tank that's going to be going upstairs. This is going to replace the 75-gallon upstairs, so that this will be the new discus tank. The back is already painted black and everything like that. I do have, you can see in the corner there, the overflow and the return pipes and everything like that. I just need to soak them in some vinegar water to get all the calcium and blah off of there. But I actually cleaned this tank in the 90-gallon today before it started raining. So really happy I got that done, because it is starting to get cold here in New York, and I don't want to have to be outside in the cold cleaning tanks. I looked like a maniac. I mean, I looked like a maniac today cleaning tanks in the rain, but who cares? I got them clean, and yeah, this is the reason why the breeding rack got shut down, or part of the reason why the breeding rack got shut down. And this is kind of the look of the fish room right now when you walk in. This is obviously where the breeding rack was. This is empty. And you got your 40s, the 40 rack, the 20 rack, the 180, and then the mess of tanks throughout here. This is another 20-gallon long here. It's actually my sister's tank. I'm going to be building a tank for her, so stay tuned for that. I've got my Zis brine filter, or brine shrimp hatcheries that are not working right now, or not in use right now. A couple bags of the pool filter sand that I'm going to use for adding to the tanks here in the fish room. That there is the 29-gallon sump. This is a secondary 29-gallon that I wanted to make into a sump, but unfortunately that kit is sold out and I can't find it anymore. So this tank is going to get sold, because this is going to be used for the saltwater tank. And then I bought a kit. So this is the 20-gallon here actually has another kit, the DIY sump kit. I'm going to use this 20, or not this specific 20-gallon long, but the kit and a 20-gallon long to make the sump for the discus tank upstairs. And then I've got just tanks everywhere. This is a mess down here. These are the two 40-gallons that I removed from over here. Those I'm going to be putting into storage. And then I've got all the 10 gallons that I got from the breeding rack, plus the two 20-gallon talls and a 5.5. And then I actually have this little tank here. This tank I got for free as well. This is this was the tank actually that the clownfish in here was in. The big little fancy clownfish was in there, and the guy gave me the tank for free, so I took the tank as well. I've got my little octopus there, and all fish room towels, my son's Mercedes-Benz here, and my plant wall on this side. It's not fish related, but my plant wall. So I'm very excited to get this guy here and that BioCube right down there. It's on the floor. So really excited to get those guys put into the 90-gallon and have that 90-gallon sitting right there. That's going to look super, super good. I'm very, very excited to get that started. And that is it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed the fish room update. I know it's been a few months since I did one, but things kind of just hadn't gotten in the way. Got a lot of projects happening down here in the fish room, so had to record those and get those out first. So hope you guys enjoyed the fish room update. Hope you guys are looking forward to all the new stuff going on down here. I got to add this 20-gallon here, and now you guys know of my new to me 90-gallon reef tank that's going to be happening with the merge of my 20-gallon that's over here and 32 BioCube that's back there on the floor. Those guys are going to get mashed up together, put up in there, and get a beautiful scape with all the coral that I have in that 20 long, hopefully popping off and looking phenomenal. So if you guys don't want to miss that build, subscribe to the channel, like this video if you liked the update, comment down below, let me know what you think of the fish room and its current state, and stay tuned to the next one.